In tax preparation software, the commercial battlefield is shifting from search rankings and brand awareness into AI-generated shortlists. The August 2026 benchmark shows AI systems concentrating buyer attention around a small set of brands. FreeTaxUSA leads modeled monthly AI authority value at just over $104,000, while TurboTax holds the strongest first-place recommendation rate. That combination tells us something important. AI discovery is not simply reflecting the old market. It is actively reshaping which brands buyers see as credible options. Hey, I'm Mark Huntley, a growth strategist and AI discovery analyst. At LLM Authority Index, we study how AI systems shape commercial discovery, especially in high-intent categories where recommendation positioning can directly influence revenue. The key lesson from this tax preparation software benchmark is that visibility alone can be deeply misleading. TurboTax appears in 96% of observations, which is enormous presence. But FreeTaxUSA earns more modeled recommendation value because it converts that presence into ranked recommendation credit across more prompts. That distinction matters because AI systems compress the buyer journey. When someone asks, "What is the best tax software?" or "What is the cheapest way to get taxes done?" the answer is not a list of web pages. It is a pre-filtered shortlist. A brand can appear in the response and still lose the decision moment if it is not ranked, recommended, or framed as a top choice. The benchmark shows a clear two-tier category forming. FreeTaxUSA captures the highest share of modeled AI recommendation value, with strong valid recommendation coverage, consistent top 3 placement, and positive sentiment. TurboTax has the strongest rank 1 position, appearing first in 275 of 702 observations. Together, those two brands control more than 41% of modeled AI recommendation value in the public benchmark. Below them, H&R Block and Cash App Taxes form a competitive middle tier. H&R Block is highly present and consistently considered, but it does not earn first-place recommendations at the same rate as the top two. Cash App Taxes has the highest net sentiment score in the category, with 0 negative mentions in the benchmark, but its recommendation depth is still more limited. That is the shape of modern AI discovery. A small group gets compressed into the shortlist, and everyone else fights for residual attention. The most useful warning sign in the benchmark is TaxAct. TaxAct appears in more than 2/3 of observations, nearly matching Cash App Taxes on raw presence. But it captures only 5.7% of modeled opportunity value. Its rank 1 rate is 1%, and its top 3 rate is under 15%. That is a very different commercial position from being a true recommendation leader. TaxSlayer shows a similar pattern. It has strong presence, but low top 3 and rank 1 performance. AI systems appear to know these brands exist, but they do not consistently advance them into the most commercially valuable part of the answer. For marketing leaders, this is the danger of broad AI visibility reporting. A dashboard can show a brand is mentioned frequently while the brand is still losing the buyer moments that matter. The benchmark points to citation architecture as the underlying driver. AI platforms recommend brands they can support with public evidence. That evidence includes official brand content, pricing pages, feature documentation, comparison coverage, review depth, and community discussion. FreeTaxUSA and TurboTax both appear to benefit from strong public evidence layers. They give AI systems enough material to retrieve, compare, and justify a recommendation. By contrast, brands with thinner or more fragmented evidence layers can receive factual mentions without earning strong recommendation credit. The system can describe them, but it has less confidence placing them first, second, or third. This is why AI discovery is so different from traditional search. The ranking is not only about whether a page exists, it is about whether the public evidence layer supports confident shortlist formation. For executives in tax preparation software, the practical takeaway is to stop treating AI visibility as a single number. The better questions are more specific. Where does the brand appear in high-intent prompts? Is it first, second, third, or buried in the middle? Does the brand earn valid recommendation credit, or only a passing mention? Which platforms under-recognize the brand? Which sources are being cited or ignored? And where does negative sentiment appear in the public evidence layer? These questions change the work. The priority becomes recommendation control, improving the public evidence that AI systems use when forming shortlists. That includes clearer owned content, stronger comparison context, more consistent review signals, and cleaner entity architecture across the web. The broader leadership takeaway is simple. In tax preparation software, the buyer's shortlist is increasingly formed before the buyer reaches a brand's website. That gives a structural advantage to companies that are not only known, but confidently recommended by AI systems. FreeTaxUSA leads the modeled value pool. TurboTax leads first-place recommendation frequency. H&R Block and Cash App Taxes remain credible challengers. But the exposed brands show the same pattern. Visibility without recommendation strength leaves money on the table. If you want to understand how AI is actually positioning your company in buyer conversations, that's exactly what we analyze at LLM Authority Index.